Hello everyone, it's me Neutron, and today we're going to talk about camping in DBD. To bring everyone together, there's two types of camping, face camping and proxy camping. Face camping is when a killer literally stands in front of a survivor who is hooked, and he's trying to get them killed, deny any rescue from any other survivor. And another type of camping is proxy camping, when the killer kind of just lingers around the hook and maybe secures the second stage, or the survivor dies on the hook, but at the same time killer is trying to circle around the hook, make sure no one goes near it, and maybe defend a couple of gens located next to the hook. The second type of camping is very common. It is very effective, but the face camping could also be good if run with a specific killer, for example Leatherface, who can basically guarantee that no one will ever get the rescue. And if that Leatherface runs good perks, then it's really hard to not give him a second or maybe a third kill if your team isn't prepared. If you're, for example, playing in solo queue, and if you don't realize that he's camping from the very start, it's also very problematic. So today I'm going to present a very simple and straightforward solution that's going to fix all of this problem. This solution is simply double the amount of time it takes survivor to die on the hook and on the ground. This will immediately make camping ineffective, and it won't require buying DLCs and running specific perks. Right now, very good perk is Reassurance. Also, the camaraderie slows down the survivor dying progress on the hook. But you need to run those perks. You need to level up your Blow the Web, and you need to buy a specific newest DLC for this. And also you need to get close to the hook and press a button, and you need to go through all this trouble, and you need to constantly dedicate 1 or 2 perk slots to prevent killer from camping. But again, a camping is a strategy that exists in Dead by Daylight, and a strategy cannot be countered with perks. A strategy that strong and that boring should not be encouraged, and that's why there should be game mechanics that put a stop to that. For example, right now there is a borrow time that lasts 10 seconds of the hook. Not borrow time, endurance, but it was borrow time, and the developers changed it so that it would work automatically. Any survivor now gets an endurance for 10 seconds after being unhooked, and it's great. Now, you don't have to run borrow time every single game, but the changes to borrow time didn't really solve camping. It mostly prevents targeting the survivor who is unhooked. Meanwhile, that is a separate topic. The killer who is proxy camping might very freely take a trade on the hook and get the other guy who was going for the rescue on that hook, and that still could be an effective strategy. Also, killers can grab people off the hook, downing them immediately if they're playing strong killers like Huntress and Trickster and Leatherface. They can even deny the unhooks and down everyone who comes for it pretty easily. And with that, if we just double the amount of time survivor takes to die on the hook, at first the face camping will be totally useless, because right now it takes 2 minutes for survivor to die on the hook from the moment he's hooked throughout the second stage and to die. It takes 2 minutes. If it's gonna take 4 minutes, and for example Leatherface gets a down on you at the very start of the game, these 4 minutes will be absolutely enough for all other survivors to finish every generator. Even if the killer has some good perks, they will finish every generator by the time the first person will die, and they will very likely get a 3-man escape, rendering this strategy basically useless to win. I believe that the only reason why camping is so popular amongst killers for the entire history of Dead by Daylight is just because it's effective. No one wants to camp because they're mean. Okay, there are a couple of people who do that with purpose, But most killers who just want to win, they don't need to make the survivors game unfun and maybe unfair by using this strategy. So I think it will be a very healthy change. The killers will be heavily discouraged from staying near the hooks and making sure that survivor dies as quickly as possible, because in the time they will stay at the hook, they might as well go across the entire map and down someone else and force survivors to come for this rescue, wasting their time. And I believe that would lead to a very, very fun and healthy gameplay, at least more fun and more healthy than right now. Also, there is a second part to this. The kills should be still rewarded for hooking survivors. And if you just make survivors die on the hook for 4 minutes, it's gonna be exactly the same time as they're gonna be laid out on the ground. And most killers could find effective to just leave survivors on the ground, ignore the hook stages, and just make them bleed out. If the game needs to stay focused on hooks, then I believe the time survivor dies on the ground should be also increased to 8 minutes. And with that, there should also probably be a mechanic for survivors to be able to kill themselves on the ground, just as on the hooks, so that they don't have to wait all these 8 minutes. And yeah, I believe this could be done very easily. Of course, the perks that affect the hook time, like Reassurance and Kinship, previously called Camaraderie, they should be reworked, of course. But overall, I believe this will lead to a very healthy gameplay and make the best strategy for killers just more enjoyable. And then, if the killer is going to be struggling after that change, you could buff killers regularly in some other way. So that the effective strategy is just more fun and more fair for everyone. And with that, I believe I'm done. If you have any ideas or arguments, you can drop them in the comments.